Today I want to talk about shoe fit, lacing, and screening for defective shoes. We're going to take you through the Brooks launch. This is my most recent purchase and what I plan to use for the upcoming race season. Let's get started. So the first thing I teach people to do when they're going to buy a new pair of shoes is to pull the inner out of the shoe. So I've removed the inner, and the reason I do this is because you want to make sure that the inner fully captures your foot. So if the inner does not capture your foot, the shoe simply won't. The next thing I do when I'm going to buy a pair of shoes, once I've ensured that the inner captures my foot, I'll keep it removed and I'll simply feel around the inside of the shoe. And what I'm feeling for is any hot spots. It may occur secondary to stitching patterns, seams, or just other fabric in the shoe that may be abrasive to the foot and toes. Make sure to do that. The next step of screening shoes before you buy them is to simply perform the break test. Wilk and colleagues describe this in JOSPT 2000, and what it involves is to simply take the shoe with both hands and to approximate it. And what you'll notice is that the shoe breaks at the level of the forefoot, or where the foot breaks. So in this case, this is a desirable break path. Along these same lines, the twist test was also described by Wilk and colleagues in JOSPT 2000. And the twist test involves a similar starting position, and all you're doing is twisting the shoe. And you can see the shoe should not break at the level of the midfoot. All right, in that case, that may be a sign of a defective shoe, so give this a shot. So the next thing that we'll discuss is symmetry. And the easiest way to assess for symmetry is to take the shoe and position it on a level platform. And all we're doing is sort of looking from a north-south direction, such that if you had a plumb line, that it would run completely vertical. So in this case, I have a goniometer, and all I'm doing is positioning it right here, and you can see in this case, the shoe checks out. So it has good symmetry. Make sure to compare the left and right shoe, and sometimes it's easiest just to position them next to each other. From there, what we can do is grab the heel counter and perform the rock test to sort of get an idea of how this is going to operate under load. So all I'm doing is applying an axial load and then shifting in a medial, lateral, or side-to-side direction. In this case, this shoe has good rear foot or hind foot stability. So now that we've gone through these other tests, let's get you in the shoe and lace it up. A common mistake that I see among a lot of runners and triathletes is to lace the shoes too tight. So in this case, we're going to lace them up, gently snugging them up. And then when you get to the top eyelet, which in this case is a 7th one, I'm going to feed it back in on the same side. And this essentially creates what are called rabbit ears. So once the rabbit ears are in place, I'm going to thread this lace through the opposite side and vice versa. And then I'm just going to gently snug the shoe down. From here, people will often have you lift up the great toe, but the problem with that is sometimes the second toe is the longest toe, in which case you want to size a shoe to the longest toe of the longest foot. In my case, my second toe is longer, so I want to make sure that I have adequate room in the toe box so I'm not abutting the end of the toe box. So hope all this stuff helps you, and the next time you go to buy a pair of shoes, just to ensure proper fit, because with running, we want to make sure you never run into any equipment issues. See you on the streets.